Well, good day to you, my lovely viewers, and Happy New Year, by the way. This is, we're one full week into the new year so far, and I don't know about you, but the energy is pretty exciting. It seems that the energy is pretty exciting this time of year, every year, but at any rate, in the spirit of the new year, I decided that I would conduct an annual reading where I will pull 12 cards and we will get a reading indicative for each month of the entire year. What you're seeing on the camera right now are the two decks that I will be using for this reading, and the first one, or I guess just because it's placed there first, is the Magical Messages from the Fairies, and the next one is the Enchanted Map. Now these are two different decks by two different Oracle card creators, but they're both mentors of mine, and I thought that they would actually go very well together because the Fairies are very adventurous and the Enchanted Map kind of gives you an overview, a map, so to speak, of your life when you are using them. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pull the camera back here so that you can actually see me laying the cards out. We'll do a little blessing on the cards. I've actually already shuffled them so that we could combine them together, and we will go ahead and get started. Alright, so as I discussed previously, I've already combined these cards together, both of these decks. The purple cards are, of course, the Magical Fairies, and I guess these kind of tan and teal cards are the Enchanted Map cards. And we're just going to say a quick blessing over the cards, mainly that I can be the blessed divine conduit through which the message will be communicated for everyone, and that everybody should receive something that is meaningful to them that is watching this video, because you, of course, are led to be here for a reason, and basically that means that if you are here watching this, there is something in it for you. And I am grateful, I'm very, very, very grateful to have this opportunity to share this moment and this reading with you. Excuse me. So I've been kind of nursing a cold lately, just in time for the holidays, but without further ado, let's go ahead. I'm going to pick 12 cards randomly, and it's just an intuitive thing. You never can, pick the cards wrong, and if they're hopping out, kind of like this one just did, then that typically means that they're ready to be part of the reading. And I'll do my best to show all of the cards up close to the camera so that you can see them, but since there's 12 cards, some of them might end up appearing off the camera. And that's January and February. We've got March and April and May, June, July, August, September, October, just kind of make some room for November and December here. November and December. All right, so this is a layout, of course, it's called the wheel, and basically because it's a circle, but it's kind of representative of life, the wheel of life, the wheel of the year, and that's why it's a very appropriate reading for the type of thing that we're doing right now. So we've got 12 cards laid out, and we're going to start with January, which I believe was right here. Yes, and This is going to probably take a little bit of time, so buckle your seatbelts and get comfortable. Alrighty, I'm putting on a little bit of happy mood music to go along with our reading, and we're going to start out with, right here I believe was January, and we have this lovely card by Baron-Reid. This comes up a lot in readings that I do, and it is the Spark card. If you can see, it's a very beautiful woman, maybe a nymph of some kind, and she's shooting the sparks of love through her fiddle. And the message that goes along with this card is that you are a clear channel for divine creativity. There is a spark of creativity in you, and you have every reason to move forward with optimism and hope. January is a perfect time to work on that divine manifestation that you've been desiring, since this is a time of magic and new beginnings. It is also a time that carries with it immense promise. You may have felt lately like you're being pulled in a specific direction that is closer to your heart's desire. Move on this nudge and have faith that the steps will appear in front of you as you go along. This might be scary for some, but when you feel intimidated, keep your mind focused on that spark that is in your heart. When you follow that, you can never fail. And we have the next card here is February, and it's cleaning house. And let's see here, for February, this is another Baron-Reid Divine or Enchanted Map card, and it says it's time to clear the clutter to make way for better things. This card goes perfectly with the Spark card in the sense that it is imperative to clear out the old in order to make way for the new. On the physical level, take time to clear out your closets and storage areas in your house of all things that you can no longer make use of. If you donate those things, somebody else may be able to make use for those things. And you'd be surprised how much clutter actually exists in your physical realm. A good word to meditate upon at this time is simplify. It is also time to start taking better care of your physical bodies, or your physical body, if you haven't been doing so previously. Some of us have, quote unquote, fallen off the physical fitness horse, and it is time to make time for eating more nourishing foods and regular exercise. Find a mode of physical activity that works well for you and get moving. From the spiritual perspective, it is time to do internal house cleaning. Start plucking all the metaphorical weeds from the garden of your mind and start planting more fruitful seeds. Meditation is key here. Just 10 to 15 minutes per day can make all the difference in the world. February is all about continued self-care. And that's just going to be preparing you for April. I'm sorry, March. February, March, of course. That'll be preparing you for March. And in March, we have this beautiful fairy who's telling us to say goodbye to the old, hello to the new. And the message on the bottom of the card here reads, you've finished one part of your life, and now a new and even better part is beginning. Which is, it's pretty indicative of the springtime. And this is actually kind of humorous to me, considering that all these cards were drawn completely at random. And it appears that the fairies want to really drive the point home that it is time to let go of things that no longer serve you. They say it is imperative for you to do so in order to move forward on your divine life purpose. They want to remind you that the calling that you were put here on this earth in this form to represent is necessary and very important. You don't need to know all the reasons why, you just need to move. Part of that is letting go of those things that are holding you back, including any feelings of doubt that may still be lingering. Take up the cloak of your divine calling and walk forward with courage and passion. And that brings us right into April, which is a beautiful fairy that is celebrating autumn. And at the bottom of the card it says, in the fall season everything comes together and you reap wonderful harvests of abundance. Now this card may seem rather odd to receive during the middle of the spring, but this is a reminder that every seed that is planted now comes to fruition in autumn. It is true in the physical realm as it is true in your life. Some spiritual sages refer to this as the morning, think spring, and the afternoon, think fall of your life. You are approaching the harvest of your hard work, so if you've felt discouraged, this is a reminder to stick with it. A fruit doesn't grow overnight. It starts off as a beautiful blossom and then transforms into ripe, juicy fruit. This is also true of your life. And that brings us into May, which, look at this, says, let go. And the bottom of the card is says, as you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. And I also like to just mention that as we go along, especially the fairy cards, they are for spring are showing, you know, a kind of a green background to them, which is indicative of growth. And so let's see here, in May, let go. This is the message that I keep getting throughout this reading so far. Let go and let God or Goddess. In May, you'll likely still be shaking off some residual negative energy of the past year. The key is to remain patient. You're safe and all is well. Simply keep your head down and stay focused. You know what to do. In May, you're going to see a lot of rapid momentum that will bring your project to fruition, as is mentioned in the previous card. You'll receive a lot of fresh answers and guidance, almost as if your mind and spirit are being refreshed by a gentle spring rain. Dance in the rain and express joy and gratitude that your heart's desire is manifesting now in order to promote positive growth. Which brings us into June. And look at this, Storm Fields. It's a very beautiful little painting on the Enchanted Map card, and that's June. Now, it said the message that goes along with the card says, "This too shall pass." You might have hit a bit of a bump in the road pertaining to your forward momentum in June, and this is perfectly normal and is nothing to be frightened about or discouraged. This is movement. View any perceived chaos that presents itself as a sign that energy is in motion. This is the process of growth as that fertile bud that you planted earlier in the year pushes through the soil. Remember to breathe and keep your mind focused on that which you desire. There's just as much beauty that can be found in the storm as on a sunny day, if you choose to see it. Now that will bring us directly into July, which is affirmations. And I can't make this stuff up, folks. This is completely randomly drawn. And July has, the message on the card says, to lift your thoughts and energy and to attract what you desire, use positive affirmations. Now, let's see. This is, again, a reminder to continue to affirm the positive, loving aspects of your life throughout this process of growth and transformation. I'm being shown growing pains here, somewhat like when you were a child and you woke up in the middle of the night with growing pains in your legs. And this is somewhat like that. It doesn't mean there is anything to worry about. It simply means to stay positive and affirm your faith in the grand design of your life. All is well. Meditate and take time in nature during this time of growth. This will help keep you grounded, which will put us into August. And August is Compass. This is actually the last card, I believe, of the, or one of the last cards of the Enchanted Map deck. And the message that goes along with this card is, as long as you orient your compass to true north, the direction of your higher power, you will never be lost. May through July may have been somewhat turbulent, and August is when you start to feel more grounded and on track. Keep in mind that as long as you've maintained your focus over the last 3 months, you have always been on track. You may be encountering uncharted territories right now, hence the quote new that you made room for earlier in the year. It is important to realize that this is a very exciting time and that you are perfectly safe. This new adventure is part of your divine calling. You may encounter a new exciting relationship, partnership, or professional relationship, or you may be prompted to take a trip. Follow your inner star and trust. There's that word again, trust. As long as you stay aligned to your true north, you'll experience magic that you've never even dreamed of before. And this is very exciting. Now, that takes us to September, which is Peaks of Joy. And we have this lovely woman celebrating in the clouds as she's flying and feeling free. And the message on the card is, your life is filled with happiness, so share it with others. Now, what did we just get done saying? That all you've been working for over the past year, or for some, the last few years, is now manifesting. You're coming closer to achieving all that you've worked for, and it feels exhilarating. Share this joy with others. This is a time of sharing. After all, what we are given isn't meant for us alone. If you haven't been doing so already, start spreading your joy to others. This will take shape in various forms. Some people will be led to donate monetary or physical goods, or take part in philanthropic endeavors. Others may be led to volunteer for a cause about which they are passionate. Keep in mind that the law of circulation works when you circulate your abundance. Whatever you give away, you always get to keep. It's important to keep in mind. And that takes us to October, which is your desire is within reach. Look at this. I'm just amazed by how random yet purposeful this is. And the bottom of the card says, have faith, as everything is working in your favor. Now, there's that word again, faith. I like to use an analogy that was taught to me by one of my mentors, Ms. Louise Hay, the founder of Hay House Publishing. And to paraphrase, she says that a farmer never plants a seed and then digs it up to make sure that it is growing. No, he simply puts it in the ground, gives it plenty of fresh water and optimal growing conditions. And he has faith that the seed will grow. And this is a reminder that you're the farmer in your life, and that your faith in the growth of your seed is now producing a ripe fruit. It's harvest time, baby. Be joyful and bless all the things that are happening in your life, for they are a reflection of the work that you've put in over the year. And right in time for the holiday season to come around too. You're ready to celebrate as everything is working out perfectly for you. Which takes us to November. And here we have it, November Deep Freeze. The message on the card, of course, says everything has a season. Now is the time to put activity on hold as you rest. And oh my goodness, part of what I love about doing these readings is how on purpose the universe truly is. Of course, as I've mentioned several times, I drew these cards completely at random, and this message is right in line with the wheel of the year. Anyway, this is a positive indicator that it is perfectly safe to slow down and enjoy this phase of the year. Relax in the magic of the season when everything in nature takes respite. You've been working hard all year, and it is time for you to take a break. This might be a good time to plan a trip or simply just take some good old-fashioned solitude. Don't fret about what will be, quote, left undone by your temporary departure. All is well. The cycle of life calls for equal parts rest and equal parts activity. This is a time for rest. And we finish it off with December. And it's this card. I always think this actually looks more like a butterfly in the shape, and it's coming apart. Now don't be frightened by this. It's actually a positive thing. The message on the card says, now is the time to take separate paths. December is a perfect month to take stock of your year and decide what is working and what is not. The coming apart card is an indicator that there is something in your life that is no longer serving you, and it is time to let it go. For some, this may mean a relationship, but for others, this may mean a way of thinking, or letting go of an old habit, or perhaps reassessing your goals overall. Furthermore, there may be a part of your life that is falling away, and you may have been holding on to it out of fear of loss. Let's see here. It's time to let it go. Trust, there's that word again, in the divine plan for your life. There's a saying, some things fall apart so that even better things can fall together. That is perfectly appropriate here. Take some time to nurture yourself if the experience seems painful, but rejoice in the fact that your life is one of growth, and this ending is simply a sign of an amazing new beginning. And boom, we're at the new year all over again. Some key words to focus on here is keep it simple, have trust, trust yourself, trust the divine, and keep the faith. We also heard let go and let God come up a lot during this reading. And it's for being a completely random drawing, it's actually this wheel represents the different seasons. We have spring, and then summer, and then fall, and then winter, and the different things that happen this season, where we have new beginnings, we have some fertile fields and some growth and some harvesting, and then some rest to start it all over again in the new year. I also want to take this moment to mention a recent post that I've made on my blog at lifeandworkandbalance.com, which I will post the link in the information section below the video, that you might go check out and do yourself to keep you aligned and keep you intentional throughout the year, especially during these months where there's a little bit of turbulence going on. Let's see here. I also want to say that if you enjoyed this reading, please feel free to join my email community, where I send out regular updates on these readings and various other things that I'm blogging about throughout the year. Usually they're helpful, intentional, and affirmative exercises. I also would like to invite you to find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. All these links, of course, will be in the information section below this video. And Again, if you enjoyed this reading, please like, comment, and share the video. Tune in next week for I do regular weekly readings most of the time. And with that, I want to thank you so much for your time and your presence. And I wish you the brightest blessings in the year coming. Thanks again. Have a good week. Bye-bye now.